Hi, I'm Salvation, and in this video I want to show you one of the two builds I did in the Prophecy League so far. This one is, as you can see, a Bladevortex build, and I made a Bladevortex Slayer because I wanted to see how big I can get the AoE of Bladevortex, and as you can see, it's pretty big. So why did I make this build as Slayer, you might ask? That's because of the buffs to the AoE that the Slayer got in the latest patch, and that gives us a total of 40% increased AoE just from the Ascendancy. That's pretty amazing. We also get some other rather useful perks like Bane of Legends that gives us 20 seconds onslaught when we kill a rare or unique enemy. During mapping you can keep it up pretty much all the time. And it's 20% cast speed and 20% move speed, and it's really cool to have. We also kill enemies that have 20% off life left when we hit them with a skill. So we basically have Culling Strike at 20% or double Culling Strike, which is pretty good DPS for this build, because we hit so fast that we will always hit them right on the 20% mark and just kill them 20% faster. We also have some reflect protection with Headsman that gives us 50% reduced reflected physical damage taken, and also gives us 20% more damage if we've killed recently. All those buffs are really pretty good, and on top of that, with the new points from the Überlap, we can also get Overwhelm that makes our hits always stun against enemies that are on full life. So if we run in, our first hit will always stun the enemies, which is a pretty good protection. And we also have chance to double the stun duration and stuff like that. And we stun a lot because we have a Blasphemy Warlord's Mark that gives us a flat chance to stun. I'm using two Blasphemies, one was Warlord's Mark and one was Enfeeble. Also using a third curse, which is Vulnerability, that occurs with a cast when damage taken Bladevortex curse on hit. To get 3 curses and also the ability to curse hexproof enemies, I'm using a Cospriest's Will and a Deirdre's Damning. The Cospriest's Will is pretty amazing because it not only gives me +1 curse, it also gives me the ability to poison enemies that are cursed. And because I curse them all the time with my Blasphemy, I will always poison on hit. As a weapon, I'm using an Obliteration unique wand. That one gives me 15% of physical damage, it's extra chaos damage, which can also poison, and it has a chance to explode enemies on death. And as you can see in the video, that's the pretty amazing purple explosions you will see everywhere. It's a pretty high chance, and they explode for a percentage of their maximum life and deal that as chaos damage, and that's really good and scales really well to high maps, and it's amazing for clear speed. I'm using 2 Bladevortex setups. One is in the 5 link in my Cospriest's Will, and that's the one with increased AoE on it and no concentrated effect, because the whole point of this build was to make the biggest Bladevortex possible. The other setup is in the gloves I'm wearing. I'm using Worm Sign unique gloves. They're pretty cheap, they give Rampage, and they have a concentrated effect built in. So I'm using Life Leech concentrated effect Bladevortex in those gloves, and they will also get the poison effect from the Cospriest's Will, so it's basically 6 link gloves for me. This build has its limitations for sure. I don't know how well it scales up for higher maps. I'm afraid that the damage might be a bit low, at least on the low stacks you normally have while running through the map. And you would need to get some more cast speed to get the stacks up quicker during mapping to make it as fluid as it is in lower maps. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe the channel on the video.